Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Glue Glue podcast with me, Kyle Quinn. And joining me today is Rishabh from the Late Winner Show. How's it going?
Yeah, pretty good. How you doing? I'm definitely just happy with the 3 points that we just gotten.
Yeah, absolutely delighted with the result. It was a bit of a roller coaster ride, really. I think we had to win the game twice in the 90 minutes because we threw
Yeah.
it away the first time. Um, so, what was your immediate takeaway from the game?
Uh, Not too much. I think it was the same United that came in. It just the level of effort definitely increased after we went, back to square, back. Like the game was square. I think the character definitely that they showed to come back into the game and not come back, but but actually like take a victory from there, because I was like, I when he scored like 2 goals in a minute, I was like, okay, this is all over. This is going to be happening all over again. Either we're just going to have a 2-all draw, or maybe Leeds nick it in the last minute. But yeah, United showed good character to come back into the game. They kind of calmed themselves down, try to dominate the game again, and obviously the substitutes that Rannick made, Fred and Elanga, definitely won the game. I mean, I was really excited about the finish that Fred took. So yeah, really happy about that.
Yeah, whenever United went to 2-2, I feared the worst because so many times lately we've given away leads and then ended up kind of drawing the game. And I thought the way things are going, we'll probably lose this. But I'm
Yep.
pleased with the character of the players. To suffer adversity and a setback like that and come back and win the game quite comfortably in the end, because we haven't really seen that much from United lately. So I'm definitely pleased that United players showed some character for a change. Were you happy about that also?
Yeah. I was really happy about the character that they showed, and I was really impressed with the performance of Sancho. I think he was really good. Even Lindelof, as a matter of fact, I think he made the second goal. I think it was all him, even though it wasn't like either an assist or the goal for him in the end. But I think he made the play for the second goal that United scored. And Sancho, I mean, he's definitely growing into that United shirt. You could see his performances improving in the last couple of months. I think Ranier definitely has understood what he needs to do, get the best out of him. You could see the shades of Sancho that we saw him at, that we saw at Borussia Dortmund. Yeah, I think this season is still not over yet. We still have another 13 games to go. He can definitely still improve, but next season is definitely what I'm looking now for, is that he definitely steps up his game and starts performing at a regular level.
Yeah, over here on UK television, Gary Neville gave Jadon Sancho man of the match, and I can't have
Mm.
too many disagreements with that. He got two assists. The first one was absolutely fantastic ball into Fernandez, first time ball as well. And an all round good game. He's been playing lately well in all of the games. He's been scoring goals and now he's getting assists. And like you say, we're probably only really seeing him at 75%. He's probably still got another 25% to give, and
Yeah,
um, he does, even at Dortmund. He tended to finish the seasons quite strongly, and he looks like
yeah,
he's going that
exactly.
way again, isn't he?
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, even if you look at his last season, I think he was a man of the match even in that DFB Pokal that they defeated Leipzig in. So I think he scored like a goal and 2 assists or something. That's what he did in the final game for Dortmund as well. So yeah, I'm really excited. Like, I was anyways excited when Sancho came in. Um, you can say, like, the rut that United were in, like at the start of the season with Oli and the performances that were going on. Nobody could actually, no, you couldn't say that anybody was actually performing at their level, right? So now that those things are in the past, people are getting into their groove and seeing, what can they do, in terms of like helping United, go back up to that, go back up top. We're seeing definitely improvements in performances, but my complaint is still about that, the coming out in the second half, or it's just a United when United play is just a game of two halves. Either they play in the first half or either they play in the second half. Is For me, it's just like now, either just don't play in the first half, then just take out a nil-nil draw and then start playing in the second half, so that at least you win. You don't want good performance in the first half and then just drag back and just make sure that you defend and take out that 3 points. It's never going to happen in an away game, definitely. Even like we've seen in the home games itself, like it's not going to happen. Like people will definitely go and take on United because they know that they're low on confidence. I just think, yeah, that still needs to be resolved, because you can come back from a team, let's say Burnley, Southampton, Brighton, Leeds, but when you play against the likes of Atletico in the next 2-3 days, then you have City, then you have Tottenham. It'll be hard. It'll be hard if they are 2-0 up in front and City come back from a 2-0 drop to take the game square. There's no way that we as a United fan can think that they're going to win this game now, because it's not going to happen. Like City's going to make sure that they take that game away from them. So that's the only worry I have as of now. I mean, there are others, but yeah, what I'm seeing on the pitch is definitely good, attacking wise. But we still need to make sure that we put our chances to bed, because we still create a lot of chances, just not happening. Like today it happened, but yeah, usually it's not happening.
Yeah, I think we played well for. You could argue we played well for 80 minutes today. It was just the 10 minutes at the beginning of the second half where we
Yeah.
faltered, or even you could just say it was a 24-second spell. We totally collapsed, but we obviously regained our composure
Yeah.
to lead again. And you've got to say that Ralph Rangnick's substitutions had an impact, because Fred and Langa both scored. I don't think they were brought on to score. They were brought on, as he said in his post-match press conference, to bring more energy into the team. But they ended up being the match winners. And you got to say fair play to Rangnick for making those substitutions, because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was criticised heavily throughout his 3 years for not making subs at all sometimes, and making subs really late. But it's good to see a tactical coach, making the substitutions that won us the game. So I'm really pleased about that.
Yeah, definitely. I think spot on that. Good performance, like given even the conditions that the team was playing in, really windy conditions. Basically, the entire pitch was like a flood of water. Um, I still think, yeah, I do think like it was a good performance. Um, to take full 3 points away at Elland Road. We all know, like, United has a big history with Leeds United. The first time since Leeds United have been promoted in the Premier League, they were playing in front of that away crowd against Leeds. Obviously, when they made it back to 2-2, I think that's the reason I was a little scared. I was like, okay, here we go again. It's again, we're gonna have a drop of points, and since Arsenal win, and Spurs won yesterday. We just wanted that we get the points today as well.
Yeah, well, we were all complaining when I was watching the game with my mates, when Paul
Mm.
Pogba was taken off, because I thought Pogba was absolutely magnificent today, and even in the conditions, he was showing off his silky skills and crossing dangerous balls into the box, which should have been put away, especially Ronaldo, who missed a guilty as chance in the first half. But then when Fred came on for Pogba, he was just as good. He was excellent from an attacking point of view. So we can't have too many complaints about the manager making that substitution. Perhaps he was saving Pogba for Wednesday night in Madrid.
Yeah, I mean, Pogba. I just feel like when I see Pogba now, he's not signed a contract extension. He knows that his contract's up in the next 4 months. He's just playing free. This is like the vintage Pogba that we want to see every game, right? He's been playing good since he's come back from that injury. He's definitely been good on almost every game that United's played. I just feel, I think he's gonna go. I don't think he's gonna stay. I think he's just trying to up his market value a little bit with these performances, because he has basically nothing to lose now. He just want to make sure that he performs at the highest level on every game, and every game that United plays in, and in every game that he plays in, basically. But let's see. I really don't think that he's gonna stay until like after the end of summer, which is good. I really feel that we don't want players who perform in patches. We want players who can perform in that United. When they put on that United shirt, they play they play every night with the same intensity, with the same level. Because Pogba, you don't see that. I know right now what he's doing, just to up his market value, as I said, and trying to make sure that he gets the offers and whatever wage he wants. But if he signs the contract extension, you're not going to see the same Pogba once he signs the extension. It's just not going to happen. I know that.
Yeah, I said a few weeks ago that upon his return to injury, I felt that there was a good chance that he'll play well between now and the end of the season because he wants to put himself in the shop window, and that's exactly what's transpired. And we, even though he's leaving in the summer, if he performs at the level that he is now until May, we're going to reap the rewards from that. He'll help us get into the top four, and possibly we could go deep into the Champions League. Who knows? We'll probably have to get a bit lucky with the draw. Um, we'll talk a wee bit about Atletico later on, but how did you feel about the selection of Wan-Bissaka today? I thought he was really poor, and as was Luke Shaw from a defensive point of view. Maguire and Lindelof, I think, were uh, pretty steady today. Obviously, it was controversial to leave out Varane, but I
Mm-hmm.
think the selection was justified. And Maguire obviously scored from a corner. Hallelujah! Manchester United scored from a corner. It only took about 130 attempts. And then Loft, he done that run forward like a Franz Beckenbauer, leading to the Fernandes goal. So yeah, I'm pleased with the centre backs' performances today, but the full backs, it concerned me greatly.
Uh, yeah, I agree, but I don't agree with the center. Like, sorry, I agree with your comment on center backs, but I just don't feel like that's the way to go forward. I still think Maguire isn't what we need. I think with the performance that Lindelof had today, I still think Maguire's best center back pairing right now is Lindelof and Varane. Maguire, I don't know how he's gonna do. I know he's gonna play against Atletico and probably Varane as well. Uh, but man, like I can't. You can't have any kind of mishap in that game. Like you can't. You just have to be on the top of the game, top of your game in that fixture. Talking about fullbacks, I think Van Bissaka had a decent game, not a really not really bad game. Luke Shaw, I don't understand really why he's back into the team sheet. Well, when Alex Telles was playing really good, he his performances and his ball delivery into the box, which we need from both sides of the pitch, because we all know like who's there in the box, right? So um, I think his delivery is still not there. People were saying, that he's like he's still figuring out from like that fatigue that happened with the Euros. Like, come on, you can't blame that. You can't put that reason. It's already 6 months, and you're not playing every week. Now that you were getting dropped here and there in the last 2 months, you've not been even playing the last 2 months fully. It's only been in the last few weeks I think he started playing regularly in the team. I don't think that he's the best. Uh, okay, maybe let me put it that way. But he's good, but at this moment he is not. He is not. So I think we just need to make sure that Randy puts picks the best left back that we have right now, which is Alex Telles, because his delivery, I think it's better than Luke Shaw. People might argue that yeah, Luke Shaw has a better delivery, but I just feel like Alex Telles's whip and the pace and the quality that he provides in the with his crosses, I think that's a little bit better than what Shaw provides. And I think Luke Shaw is just, when Luke Shaw and I see Luke Shaw and Harry Maguire playing together, I'm scared. They keep on like bumping into each other. If you remember, like if you remember like the Liverpool game, obviously that's the worst game that of the season for any United fan. But it's happened a lot. Like they just bump into each other a lot, right? Which scares me. You can't have that kind of performances or that kind of mistakes against the big teams.
Yeah, Shaw is far too narrow, and he never does enough to block the cross coming in. Gets in far too easily, and even his crossing on the other end of the pitch can sometimes really flatter deceive. Though I suppose you have to give him credit for playing his role in our first goal from a
Hmm.
corner of the season. He did take it, but like you say, yeah, Alex tells his deliveries from set pieces is much better than Luke Shaw's. I don't think Tellez is a fantastic defender. But I would select him at the moment ahead of Luke Shaw. And Luke Shaw is playing too often at the moment for me. His bad performances are not being punished. It feels like we're back in the Solskjaer era. That back four today was Ollie's favourite back four:
Yeah.
Wan-Bissaka, Maguire, Lindelof, and Shaw. That back four that he picked no matter what no matter
Yeah.
what performances they produced, he
And
always picked them four.
yeah, yeah, and I mean, I don't mind, picking up. That's the reason we have a squad, right? Like squad depth, right? That's what you call it. I don't mind picking players like Van Bissaka for this game, let's say, because you have a big game against Athletic on Wednesday. Okay, you want to give rest to Dallo, you want to give rest to Telles, you want to give rest to, and like any other player who's not going to play in that game. It was United could have easily won this game 3-0, 4-0. They made a game out of it, and then obviously they won it. So, but they could have easily won this game 4-0 easily, right? Uh, I just feel like, yeah. So pick the best 11 that you think is best for the team, right? Yeah, I mean, I think it's another. I don't think at this moment of time as well, like Ranić is actually picking the 11. There are certain members in that team, in that playing 11. Feels like, oh, Joe Glazer is actually calling them. He's like, you can't drop Maguire. You cannot. Like, you have to play him. It's an 80 million pound defender that we bought. He's a captain of United, and you have to play him. So I just feel, obviously, maybe that's not happening. Maybe I'm totally wrong, but I just feel that that's what's happening because because the way he gives his press conferences, he's very vocal about it, right? He's very vocal that he says what he wants to say. He will tell you the truth, what happened in the game, rather than like being Ollie and be like, oh yeah, I think we're okay. This is what happened in the game. This is what that happened in the game, and we go again in the next game. It's like, no, we want to hear the truth. What exactly did you do? What exactly did you talk in the dressing room, and exactly what happened on the pitch? You're not telling us. So that's what I mean. I feel like, yeah, that's it's still like somebody from the top is still telling him that you cannot drop these players because they are the the big players in that group. So yeah.
Well, I really hope that is not the case. Obviously, in Premier League games against Leeds, you will see rotation. But on Wednesday night, we will find out what is Ralph Ranić's strongest 11 because that's the type of game where you pick who you think is your best team.
Hmm.
And if I was selecting the back four, my preference would be at this moment Dallo, Varane, Lindelof, and Telles. Would you agree with me?
Same, yeah, same. That's I think that's the way to go. But I know Maguire's not gonna get dropped, so he's gonna still play. Which is I scared. I am scared that he's gonna play against Atletico. I am scared. Even though Atletico, and I know we're gonna talk about it in a minute, but yeah, I don't think he has the capacity right now, like with the form that he's in, to handle Atletico. Even Atletico's form is like super bad, but I just don't think he's made up for that game.
Yeah, he always concerns me in every game, but he definitely will in the Champions League knockout stages. I don't think Harry Maguire's ever played in the Champions League knockout stages before, and there's probably a reason for that. But anyway, we'll come on to
He hasn't.
Bruno. I don't believe so. I don't believe so. Yeah, because
Maybe with
Leicester.
Leicester, right? Leicester, did he play? He did play, right, against in the two rounders. I think one round of 16 and one quarterfinal that they went to. I think he played in that game. I don't remember exactly, but I think he played. He was still there, and I guess United have been not in the Champions League knockout stages. No, yeah,
No,
actually you're right. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, United have never in the Champions League under Oli, under in the knockout stages. Sorry.
uh, we were in Ollie's first season, but Maguire wasn't signed until that
Maguire wasn't
summer.
there. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
And at Leicester, after when they won the league, he didn't arrive for another year after that, and they'd already played their season in the Champions League, so I don't
Hmm.
think he played in Champions League for them either. But yeah, it will be his first experience of it, and he's more than likely going to play, and that does seriously concern me. But we'll move on from.
That's even more scarier than I didn't know this.
Yeah, well, we just gotta hope for the best. Okay, I want to move on to Bruno Fernandes. He seems to be getting back to somewhere near his best. His form tailed off in the first half of the season. He's been excellent signing for United since he came in January 2020. He's bound to have a spell where he wasn't. Every player goes through a bad patch, and that's what happened to him. But he seems to be getting back to the player we all know and love, and just looking at statistics, they're still phenomenal despite the drop off in the first half of the season. He's had 76 Premier League appearances now. He's got 35 goals and 25 assists. So he seems to be back among the goals and the assists, and long may it continue. If him and Pogba are playing well at the same time, it can only benefit us massively. We're going to win more games than we lose. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, Bruno Fernandes is a like top quality player, man. Like I think his quality, what he provides in that United team is second to none. I think I still think we do need one other central midfielder to play alongside him so that there's less pressure when you summed it up correctly. Like you need Pogba and Bruno when Pogba and Bruno play and then they play at that level. What you saw today, you're gonna get victories out of them definitely, because the creativity, the balls that they provide into the box for the strikers, it's gonna be amazing. And I think Ronaldo missed that goal when I think it was Pogba, right, like who whipped that cross into the ball, yeah, into the box. So he I think Bruno definitely is starting to come back into his previous form, but when he was playing probably before Ronaldo, and we do need him back in form. With him not providing that much creativity and that much that much that many assists or that many goals in that team, it definitely suffers. Because I was just talking about this with someone earlier in the morning. Like, don't you feel like Ronaldo has dropped his level? For some reason, he tends to miss it. He tends to miss a lot of like simple chances, a lot of them. Like, he'll miss. He could have easily had at least 3 or 4 more goals than what he has right now, because he's missed like just simple goals, right? Even today, at his I think, like, because of the entire United team suffering in confidence, it's somehow reflecting in that in his game as well, right? Like, he could have easily dispatched that goal. Like, if he was in his right frame of mind, if he's in the form, I think he would have easily chipped it over the keeper and he would have gotten the goal, right? But instead, he just shoot, just point blank, and Melier made a point blank save. Um, but yeah, go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, he's missing easy chances, and he's scoring harder chances, like the one against Brighton. That was only really a half
Yeah,
chance, and he absolutely
yeah,
buried it into the bottom corner. Whereas we're seeing him, he missed a penalty against Middlesbrough today. He missed an easy chance from 3 yards out, and I think he missed another one where he was 1-on-1 with Millier. Um, and in other games this season, he has missed chances as well. I think maybe against Southampton, yeah, against Southampton, he took it around the goalkeeper and then he scuffed his effort towards the goal, and it was kind of cleared off the line by the left back. So it's not really what you associate with Ronaldo, but don't be surprised if the real Ronaldo turns up in the Champions League against Atletico, because we
oh,
all know that
definitely.
he has taunted Atletico throughout the last decade and a half, and he would enjoy nothing more than silencing the home crowd in Madrid once again.
Definitely. I think he definitely gets a brace in there. Definitely. I do think about that, but yeah. But maybe I'm like very overconfident. Maybe it doesn't happen that way. But I just feel like, yeah, Ronaldo in the Champions League is another is he's just on another level. Even with all the struggles that United were having in the league under Oli as well, he still managed to score in every game that he played, right? In the Champions League. So, and it was like some beautiful goals that he scored. So yeah.
Yeah, he's a different beast in the Champions League. I think you could argue maybe it could be down to two things. One, there's less pressing in Europe, where he's not under as much pressure when he's on the ball. In the Premier League is so intense, and also he's probably extra motivated in the Champions League as well. It's his competition. He loves to win it one more time before he retires, and I'm not sure he's at the right club to do that, but Hopefully he is.
You
Um,
never know, man. Like Champions League might just be the trophy that we win, because it's happened in the past to other teams as well, right? Like you have no chance of winning the competition and you just somehow win it, like because it's a knockout stage. You can just have, and the opponent can have an off day and you could just win it. So
yeah, we've seen Liverpool and Chelsea win it. Chelsea with an interim manager like we have right now. Liverpool been nowhere near the best team in Europe and coming back from 3-0 down at half time to win the Champions League. Even Chelsea last season, they were outsiders against Manchester City, and they produced a magnificent defensive performance and
yep.
won the game 1-0. So you just never know if we could get past Atletico and then get a bit lucky with the draw. We don't want to get Bayern in the next round. If we get something a bit slightly handier than that, then you just don't know how far we could go. But again, we're just hoping rather than expecting. So I think if we do get past Atletico, it's probably going to be two things are going to happen. Ronaldo is going to score the match winner, and De Gea is going to pull off a blinding save or two. Two of those things probably must happen for us to get through. De Gea today, he's had a magnificent season. But today, could you say was he at fault for Leeds' opening goal? I know it was a bit of a fluke. I mean, it was a cross that went in, but do you think he was caught out a wee bit
Yeah,
there?
yeah. I mean, people are blaming him, but I don't really think. Like, I think first of all, like again, as I mentioned it earlier, like it was the conditions. I mean, I don't know. Like I wasn't there, so I don't know. Like if it was like actual the how much wind played into that, played part into that goal. I don't know like how what the guy was feeling. Maybe I haven't heard. I haven't heard like if you actually came into a press conference and said something about like what happened in that goal. But I don't think like he was to blame for it. First of all, I don't think he was Rodrigo's cross meant any to be anything like that. It's just a lucky one. Like it just went into the back of the net. So yeah, I don't think you need to blame David De Gea for that. I think he made still a couple of still good saves in the game. He had a decent game. I wouldn't say that he had like a perfect game where David De Gea can have. He couldn't do anything about that second goal. Definitely, he wasn't at fault. First, yeah, as I mentioned, I don't know if he was at fault or not. For me, he wasn't, just because I don't know like the condition that they were playing in, how much the wind actually played that part into for that goal.
Yeah, there's no doubt the game, especially in the second half, was basically being played in a pool. It was absurd at times. The ball was just stopping in the middle of the pitch. Yeah, I don't really blame him that much for the goal. It wasn't the worst error I've ever seen from a keeper, and given how well he's performed this season, there's no way anyone is going to have a go at him. Let's be honest. And in terms of the second goal, I blame both the fullbacks. Wan-Bissaka for allowing the cross to come in, and Luke Shaw again caught napping at the back stick. So yeah, that's why I'm saying those two
Yeah,
had
I
really
mean, even
had.
I think even Maguire at that time, I think Maguire could have done better, a little better, to not have that ball go to Rafinha. I think he could have definitely intercepted. I think he let it go a little bit easier.
Yeah, it is ironic, isn't it? The captain tends to pass responsibility onto other players quite often, doesn't he? I want to talk a wee bit about McTominay, and we were talking about how good Pogba and Fernandez have been, and
Hmm.
to have them two playing as number eights, your number six needs to be someone like Conte, uh,
Oh, for sure.
someone like Declan Rice, maybe. I just don't think McTominay is that sort of player. And today, he had the endeavour. He was working his ass off, but he was just losing possession far too many times. There was just not enough composure on the ball. I know the conditions were difficult, but we've seen McTominay do this many times.
Yeah,
He just wasn't good enough on the ball. He must have surrendered possession. Probably must be in the double figures.
yeah, yeah. I mean, sorry. I don't think that that's the CDM. He is not a CDM. I think the best that you see him is when he plays on the attacking side. But then you can't have Fred and McTominay both play in the same playing 11 and then play the same style, attacking style, because then otherwise it just leaves a real gap in the defense. You see the best out of him when he's playing, up front. Not up front, I mean not striker role, but like towards like on the opponent, like on toward the final third of the pitch, right? You'll see the best out of him. You saw how great he was against Burnley, but again, it was Burnley. You shouldn't take that much into account in that from that game. But yeah, if he's asked to sit back and play that CDM role, play that number six role, he's not good at it. We all know that. We all know as United fans that we need a CDM in the summer, and we needed that in this summer as well, like last summer as well. So um, we haven't still got him. United for some reason, I don't know. Again, the board understands that, yeah, he's the best player that we have, and he's gonna keep on playing because Matic probably can't do the job, but Matic is still better what he does compared to McTominay. So yeah, I still think, but Matic we can. I don't think Matic can play every week. He cannot, like, based on the age and the fitness that he has. He can't play in every week. So that's why we have McTominay who plays in. But I do feel they're good. They're two good midfielders who can provide like really good attacking threat. But now, yeah, the priority in the summer has to be a CDM. Has to be, if we have to make anything for next season. First, obviously, is the coach. Second is that central defensive midfielder that we have to prioritize. Forget about everything else.
Yeah, the first signing has to be a defensive midfielder, and if Pogba's leaving, then we're going to need to sign an attacking midfielder as well, probably. And I think Yuri Tielemans is probably going to be available, so that's going to be an interesting one to watch. I want to talk.
There's a lot. Sorry, there's a lot of free agents that are going to be available. I think the market value for those for those free agents is about a billion pounds, over £1 billion. So I think there's going to be really good dealings that can happen, but I think United need to be on top of it and make sure that they get the player that they want. I think one of them I mentioned it also. I think it's Cassier from AC Milan. I think he's a good
Absolutely.
CDM. I do like him. Yep.
Yeah. I was just thinking him and also Kamara at Marseille. Yeah, there's the I seen like I think it was a journalist or someone on Twitter posted like an entire 11 of players are available on free transfer this summer. So we need to go and get one of those, because um, if we're going to make 4 or 5 signings this summer, one of those is probably going to have to be a free transfer because obviously we're on a budget. So normally we only do 3 in, 3 out. But if we're going to sign
Mm-hmm.
4 or 5 players this summer, one of them is probably going to have to be on a free. So we need to go into that market and take advantage of all these players that are out of contract and try and get one of them to Old Trafford, assuming, of course, that he is someone who the manager wants and will fit into our team and is the signing that we
Yep.
need. And Casse at AC Milan is definitely one of those who would be an exciting prospect in terms of
Yeah.
our CDM position. So I want to
See.
talk about.
See.
Go
No,
ahead.
good. Good. Sorry. Now I was just going to say like one point. Um, the totally lost it. I totally forgot about what I was saying.
Okay,
Completely
what I'm going
blanked
to
out.
talk about is
Yeah.
Lingard starting his first Premier League game this season. Rashford, quite noticeably, didn't even get on the pitch at all. Not too many people will complain about that because Rashford has been playing really poorly lately. And I mean, I've been saying since September that Jesse Lingard deserved to start a game on the basis of his substitute appearances back then. So finally he was given a chance, but you have to say he didn't really take it. He didn't really stand out today, did he? And he was substituted. I think he was the first player to be taken off. So, but you can't really expect too much from him. He doesn't have much, match rhythm. And so he needs to be given a run of games if he's going to produce anything for United, I think. So, what did you think of Lingard's inclusion today and the fact that Rashford didn't even get on the pitch?
First of all, I don't think we should judge Lingard's performances based on the position that he played. I think he's much better as a number 10 where Fernandes plays. So maybe again, because of the we're not in a position like City where you could have dropped so many players for the Champions League game, like when they played against Norwich. We're not in that position. We definitely need to be making sure that every game we put together the strongest possible playing 11, right, in every game, in every Premier League game as well. So I would like to see how Lingard performs in that number 10 role. So maybe that could have been the case. Like maybe when the game would have been won in the 75th minute, 80th minute, maybe they would have just got down, got off Fernandez, and then maybe Lingard would have played in that role. Just seeing like how he plays in that role, because I don't think he's a good player on the wing. I think Rashford still play, oh sorry, my bad. Sancho still is the best player that we have on that right side. He was good on the left side because he's still getting into the United rhythm and how he needs to play. I just feel like his best performances will come on the right side. Rashford needs to sort it out. I don't know what's happening with him. To be honest, I don't know what he's doing off the pitch. Why is he so distracted? Hello.
So you're on mute there for a second.
Yeah, sorry. I was just saying, yeah. So for Rashford, sorry, for Lingard, we do need to make sure that he's not judged on his performances on the wing side, or like the position that he's not really preferred.
Yeah, but let's be honest, he's never going to get a proper opportunity at playing at number 10 for United, given the options that we have in that position, unfortunately. And I think he is going to leave in the summer, and I think that's the right thing to do for his career.
Yeah.
So before I move on to the player ratings, please everyone watching, subscribe to the channel, comment your thoughts down below, and give us a wee like on the video, please. Okay, I'm gonna fire through the player ratings, and then you let me know if you disagree with any of these. So David De Gea, 6, Wan-Bissaka, 4, Maguire 6, Lindelof a 7, Shaw a 4, McTominay a 5, Fernandez an 8, Pogba an 8, Sancho an 8, Ronaldo probably a 5, and Lingard a 5, and the substitutions, Fred and Alanga definitely get 8s for their contributions. And I'm trying to think, was there any other substitutions? I don't believe there
Varane,
was.
Ronaldo to
Varane, he
Varane,
came
but I
on
guess
very late. Can't
yeah,
really give him a score. He came on, when Ranić decided to move it to 5-4-1, to
yeah.
protect our 3-2 lead, but he ended up scoring another goal. So can't really mark him. He wasn't on long enough. So Ranić, his substitutions won the game, so I have to give him a high score of 8 as well. So any of those you disagree with?
No, I don't. I don't. I think pretty much I would have given the same ratings to all of them. I don't know. I missed the Maguire rating. How much did you give him?
A 6.
6 is, yeah. I think 5.5, 6. I would have given him. Yeah. Okay, let's give him 6.
We'll be generous because we won the game 4-2.
6, 6. It's fine. Yeah,
It's probably his
we
highest
shouldn't.
mark of the season.
Definitely. I think I've been giving him at least 2 or 3s throughout the season.
Yeah, and he's got ones and knots on this podcast.
Oh,
um,
zeros as well? Well, maybe after the Liverpool game, definitely. He must have been
it
in
was no,
negatives.
that was a -2. Okay, coming on to Atletico. It's like I said, it's a 50-50 tie. Atletico being in poor form. I think they lost to the bottom team, Levante, in midweek, although they won 3-0
4-3. Yeah.
yesterday.
Yep.
Suarez scored a fantastic lob. We've seen him do that before in the Premier League. But a bit like us, you couldn't really predict what their strongest 11 is at the moment. You couldn't really say for sure who's going to be playing for them. It's probably going to be a real tactical battle, I reckon. There's a possibility that Atletico were throwing all their eggs in the Champions League basket this season because they won La Liga last season. They probably don't really care about it as much this season. And Simeone has never won the Champions League. He's come very close, obviously, in 2 occasions. So they'll be putting all their eggs into the Champions League basket. The last thing we need is to lose the first leg because they'll come to Old Trafford and defend. with a rigid 4-4-2, and especially with away goals not being a factor anymore. If say they win 1-0 on Wednesday night, they'll come to Old Trafford playing for a 0-0, and we notoriously struggle against the low block. So I think we need to go and get at least a score draw here, or if not, win the game. So I'm going to go through my
Yeah.
ideal 11, and
Okay. Let let me just let me though go back to one of your statements. You said they could what you said Atletico can defend. I don't think they can. I don't think they can defend. Definitely not this season.
yeah, what I mean is they will try to, but
But they won't be
base
able to. This is I really feel I know sorry for jumping in, but I really do feel that he's that game is just really unpredictable. I think it can easily be another same Leeds versus a United game. Easily it can be a 4-2, 5-3 or something like that in that fixture. Easily because Atletico themselves are just not like they're just all over the place. They've I don't know why Simeone's changed the tactic that they play in. Why are they playing such free flowing football? Because they don't know how to. Uh, they have the players to make sure that they can defend. And Oblak's in like really bad form. I think I was looking at one stat and the number of goals that the number of shots that sorry, the number of saves that he makes from last season has significantly dropped, almost like 50 to 60%. He's dropped in that perspective. So I don't think Atleti has a chance. I just feel like on paper, United are a much better team on paper. And United can definitely win this tie easily. I do feel like they can win easily this tie over the two legs.
Yeah, well, I was doing a preview show with a La Liga journalist earlier on, and he was pointing out all those things about Oblak and the fact that they're leaking so many goals. But my feeling is that they could turn back to the old Atleti in the Champions League. So I'm not going to get too cocky about it, especially as we don't really trust this United team. So I wish I shared your faith, but I do admire
Yeah,
your
yeah,
your,
yeah,
posi-
yeah.
your positivity.
Yeah, no, I mean, you just go back to the last game that they played against. I think it was Porto in that last group stage game. That was a that was a 100% Atletico performance, right? They played shit through 55 minutes, then they just started like hitting people, and yeah, they just eventually got their two goals, and they went through into the knockout stages. That's exactly what happened, and that's exactly how they play. They play shit through the 60 minutes, 70 minutes. They try to make sure that they try to anger some of their opponents, and then there's a disruption, there's a lapse of momentum, there's a lapse of concentration, and then they just go and score. That's exactly what they do.
Yeah, I hope that these two ties do turn out to be like Leeds Man United games. My fear is that it will be two drab affairs where Simeone reverts back to type,
Yeah, yeah,
and there
yeah,
could be a 0-0 and a 1-0.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and it could end up
And
in
I
penalties
don't
at Old
even know
Trafford.
like why these yeah, I don't even know why these Champions League games are being played that way. There is no away goal advantage anymore. You should just go and
Mm.
play like a good like it should just be a good game. The Madrid PSG game was like shit. I did not. I had like really good expectations from that game. Like at least I was expecting at least 3 to 4 goals in that game. Eventually just got one. I think Sporting one I didn't watch, and then the Inter versus Liverpool. I think I watched it in like parts. Even that one, like it was just like I think teams were coming in as like okay, let's just protect this first leg and see how this happens. I think Inter were definitely unlucky. I know like we're not supposed to talk about like other Champions League games here, but I'm just saying like yeah, I don't know why these Champions League games with the away goal rule gone, like why are these Champions League games being so conservative and not like free flowing? That's what I was expecting in like since the away goal rule like went away.
Well, the away goal rule was introduced to stop teams being defensive away from home. I'm afraid
Exactly.
that type of tactic's going to come back again. That's what I'm afraid of. Um, uh, you know, like for example, if Atletico win the first leg, you'll see them play for 0-0 at Old Trafford. That's exactly what Simeone will do. He'll try
Yep.
to kill the game. Um, they won't try to score an away goal because they don't have to if they win the first game, and that's the danger of taking away the away goal rule. Although I never really was the biggest fan of it. I don't think one goal should count as two goals. I didn't really like that, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
So we're back at a more of a level playing field now. Um, so I'm going to go through who I think should play in an ideal world. I'm assuming I'll get it wrong, no doubt. It's hard to predict who Rannick will go with, because if I was picking today's team, I wouldn't have got it anywhere near right. So ideally, what I want to see is a 4-3-3, and that would be De Gea, Dallo, Varane, Lindelof, Telles, um, probably Fred, Pogba, Fernandez, Sancho, Ronaldo, and Ilanga. On current form is probably who I would go for. Any disagreements?
I think in sorry, can you just show the fullbacks again? Who did you put?
Dallo and Telles.
Um, I think Luke Shaw still plays. Dallo definitely comes in. Maguire, Varane, De Gea, Fred, and I'm also sorry. I'm going with a 4-3-3. Fred, Fernandez, Pogba, maybe Ilanga, but I feel like it's gonna be Rashford who's gonna start on the left, Sancho, and then Ronaldo.
Yeah, but what I'm asking is, I'm not asking you for Ralph Ranick's team. I'm asking for what is your team.
Oh, okay. So that's my bad. But yeah, I would say Telles, Varane, Lindelof, Dallo, and De Gea obviously at the back. I would play. I would play Fred, Pogba, Fernandez. Um, I mean, sorry. So Fred and Pogba play like as the center midfielders, and then cam role is Fernandez. Um, I think I think Elanga should start Ronaldo and then Sancho, and then maybe like as a substitute, I think Rashford can come in and actually change the game or something. Like maybe if we need a goal or something. I don't think he's in the right frame of mind to start the game right now. I don't think so.
Yeah, there definitely be one selection which will be unpopular with the fan base, and I think Rashford will probably be that one in this occasion.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Maguire, as I
I already gave you the Ranix 11, so I guess that's what's going to
yeah,
happen.
yeah, I think you're probably right. In terms of rough runnings 11, that's what I expect to see. So you're confident that United will get through this tie quite comfortably?
Okay, now that you're asking me, let's not put comfortably here, but I do feel, but I do feel that they're going to go through. I do feel that, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and okay, we don't want to go too far into the future, but if we do get through this, who would you be looking for in the quarterfinals? What would you consider to be an easier tie in the quarters?
Hmm. Maybe Chelsea. Maybe Chelsea. Yeah, like we can play Chelsea in the quarterfinals. So yeah, Chelsea is probably not at all City, not at all Liverpool. Uh, Bayern maybe, but I think Bayern just has a really good attacking lineup, and I don't think that United has the defense to cope with that. But yeah, I think Chelsea definitely is a good tie to have in the quarterfinals if Chelsea goes through, which I think they will. But yeah,
Or even the winner of Juve and Villarreal? Wouldn't be such a bad quarterfinal. It's winnable. And even if you
I
look at,
think Juve is going to be a tough game. I've been basically following Juve for the entirety of the season, like watching most of their games. Uh, they're starting to look really good. And like once their signings came through, Zakaria and Vlahovic, they're looking really good. I think they're unbeaten in the last 3 months or something. So I just feel Juve would definitely be a little bit of a harder task than any other team. But yeah, if Villarreal definitely comes through, then yeah, I would take Villarreal any day, any day.
Well, it's the quarterfinals of the Champions League. There's going to be no easy games, but if you compare Juve with Bayern, City, Liverpool, you know, PSG, you would probably go with Juve. What do you think of the winner of Benfica against Ajax? Now, I know Ajax, they look like the 2019 team again. They look like they're going to be dangerous, but I mean,
That
in terms of a potential quarterfinal opponent, you would probably take them, wouldn't you?
Benfica, I love Benfica. They play really good attacking football. I love their some of their players. I think can't remember right now, but their striker. I think uh, can't remember. But they have a really good striker in their team. Seferovic, and there's one more. I'm forgetting his name. But I don't think like they have any chance to go through against Ajax. I think Ajax definitely goes through, but that would be a good tie. Eric Ten Hag comes to Old Trafford, sees what it's like. Maybe have a dinner before the game with Randy. Because like, okay, this is what's gonna be like. So yeah, do you want to take the job? And maybe that's like kind of a dress rehearsal. But yeah, I'm really going ahead. But I I just think the way Ajax have been playing, and let's see how they perform in this round of 16 as well. But the way they've been playing in like throughout the season, I think United going to have a real tough task to beat them as well. I just feel like based on the current performances, current teams that are there in the league, or that are playing in their own leagues, I feel maybe like Chelsea is the best opponent that we could get based on like the favorites. I'm just talking about favorites. So maybe Chelsea loses. We don't know that. Even Bayern loses. You don't know that. So uh, based on the form and based on the teams that we have currently left in the Champions, I feel Chelsea is the best opponent that we could get in the round of 16.
Interesting. I don't want to sound, incredibly arrogant, but Ajax is just on paper, it's the type of draw that you would take in a quarterfinal, even though it would be incredibly tough. I would still rather play them than Bayern, City, or Liverpool or PSG. The
Oh, I forgot about PSG. Yes, PSG would be one other team I would take easily.
mm,
I'm not very confident. I don't know. Like, yeah, people might comment here like, "Hey, you're crazy," but I just don't like PSG. And it's not about liking. I just don't like their system. The way they play is just a bunch. Yeah, it's just a bunch of players just put together. That's it. Like, there's no cohesiveness in their team. I don't see that. Like, they lost to Nantes in their Ligue 1 game on Friday. Like, how did that happen? I don't know. But
if they're good enough to put out Real Madrid, then I would be wanting to avoid them because Mbappe can win games on his own. I know we've done well against them in games in Paris, but we've lost
mhm.
both games at Old Trafford against them, and it's kind of annoying playing the same team all the time. That's what I like about this Atletico tie. We're playing a team we've only played once in our entire history in the Cup Winners' Cup in 1991. So it's always nice to play a new team rather than playing the same teams every year.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. But yeah, let's
Um,
see. Let's see what happens. I'm not going to look too far ahead and see like, oh, you're going to reach the quarterfinals. But I'm excited about this tie. Ronaldo going back to Madrid and just making sure that he annihilates them again, and that's just going to be a good picture. I just want that like to happen. So yeah.
yeah, let's not get too far ahead of ourselves.
Yep, yep,
Let's
yep, yep.
win this tie first, and then we'll focus on the quarterfinal draw. So I have to say that I'm after this conversation, I'm feeling more optimistic about the Atletico Madrid tie. I came into it thinking it's a 50-50. Now you've persuaded me now that it's 60-40 in favor of United.
Well, that's good, right? Like, yeah, well, as United fans, we should be optimistic about the games, which we haven't been for most of the season.
Yes,
I
let's
think,
go there and finish the tie away from home. That's win 3 or 4-0 in Madrid and put it to bed and make the Old Trafford tie our formality.
That would be a dream come true. I know that's not gonna happen, but that would be a dream come true. If that happens, 3 or 4 nil. Oh yes. I mean, just rest everyone for the home game.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, we'll wrap it up there. If everyone give us a wee like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment your predictions for Wednesday night down below. Okay, Rashid, it's been an absolute pleasure having you back on the show again.
It was my pleasure as well. Thank you for inviting me again. I mean, I know like we've been trying to connect for almost a month to get on the pod, but finally I was able to make it happen. So thank you for, again for inviting me.
Thank you, and I'm happy to join you on the late winter show anytime.
Sure, yeah, definitely. Let's again the I think the time difference is the thing that we always have the issue with, but maybe yeah, we'll see. I'll definitely text you if there's an availability we could do it after the game. We definitely should definitely do that. Do one more collab on my channel.
Yeah, well, once you move to New York, it should make things a wee bit easier on that front.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, see you later.
Right. Thanks, Kyle.